Why is this microphone screwed up? Why is it every time I move this and put it on, why does it get screwed up all the time? Jesus. I don't understand what's going on with this microphone. Not to mention I can't hear in the headset. Oh, why is this thing acting up? It's all your fault. Every time something goes wrong, I'm going to blame you. Yeah. Every time something gets screwed up in this studio, I'm blaming you. And I'm going to tell the CEO. Since you run to the CEO all the time, I'm going to run to the CEO all the time. Got it? Showtime. From the WDWL TV Multiplex, live from an empty studio. With great anticipation, we present the pride of the station, the grumpy old man, me, and the grumpy disco dumbass vulture. Would you like to take a bow? Take a bow. Oh, you actually kept it straight tonight. That's all right. I'm still going to the CEO. Back in your corner. Look in your spotlight. There you go. Seems awful bright in here. Let me dim this one notch. That's better. Greetings, friends. And Kathy was first. I looked up where your county is. It's like in the middle of the state, if I'm looking right. I had a shitty Google map, so around Greensboro? No, that don't sound right. Or is it? Greensboro? You're around your county? Somewhere in that area? Throw a dart on a dartboard. How's the weather? Boy, there's some nasty shit going through. Holy Christ. Every time I look at the news, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Of course, the tree huggers all, global warming. If you read the Farmer's Almanac, the whole world, like every 10 years, goes through a cycle. Global warming has nothing to do with it. Yeah, gain. Okay, not green. Gain. Well, I had the borough right. I never told you I could, remember proper areas. 82. $48 here. Although it was supposed to thunderstorm last night and it blew past us, so whew. Just, you know, there's certain areas that you really have to question whether you're going to want to live there, like Tornado Alley. Now, I realize people have to live places, but if I was picking a place to live, I wouldn't want to live in Tornado Alley. I'm having a, I don't know if it's this microphone or my headset. I have to turn it up a little bit. Every time I take this mic and put it away after the show, something screws up. And all I do is remove it from the mount right here at the edge of the desk to a mount around the corner. And it's in the wide open. It's not like it's, I don't think I'm that rough with it when I'm moving it around, but maybe. Or maybe the goddamn bird is screwing with me after the show. I got an interesting phone call at 3 o'clock today. From the regional manager that I bitched to. The one that recognized my name from the fight with the bread man. He called to tell me that the 4 items that I listed that I buy on a regular basis, the natural casing Franks, the German Franks, the hot Slovenian sausage, and the knockwurst, in the cooler is a gift from the supplier. All of these are 4-pound packs, and the supplier said, give him these to kind of smooth him over. And then, when I get to the store tomorrow, the store manager, as an apology, also has a gift for me. But he wouldn't tell me what it is. Tomorrow is going to be like my birthday and Christmas all in one. Free food. Works for me. Now I have to remember to pick up freezer bags because I'm going to have, 16 pounds of Franks here. So it pays to bitch. I'm realizing that. I think it's a combination of shut the bastard up and shut the old bastard up. Get him off our back. Give him freebies. Yeah, but you know what? A tornado don't necessarily say, okay, I'm going to go this way. A tornado can and then take a 90-degree turn and go that way. You ever watch them goofballs that chase the tornadoes in their armor-plated cars? And I can see being dedicated to your job, but driving into a tornado, I don't think so. They wouldn't. I don't care how armored the vehicle is. Them tornadoes, they've shown them picking up trains and throwing them miles. Every now and then, well, I don't have the National Geographic channel anymore, but they would do a special on these tornado chasers. These guys are fucking nuts. And they drive right into the path of the tornadoes. Like, the big deal. I got an armored vehicle. If a tornado can pick up a train and throw it, 50 miles, that little dipshit armored vehicle you're in, you're going to be in 3 states over by the time they find your ass. A couple years back, they had I think it was like an hour special on the destruction of tornadoes. And it was amazing. They showed this one housing development, and the tornado like hopped. It hit like every third house. 2 houses, okay, poof, gone. 2 houses, okay, poof, gone. It just hopped. And then they showed like it picked up this car. And these people lived like, I'll say 20 miles outside the city. And they found this guy's car embedded in the roof of the city hall. Tornado just picked it up and went, bonk. Although the amazing thing, and they've got it in some museum somewhere, there was a piece of straw embedded in a 2x4. Like somebody nailed it in, and they cut the 2x4 out of the house, and it's in some museum. The piece of straw was about that long. How it drove it into that 2x4 without destroying it, they said it's a miracle in nature. Of course, that piece of straw was probably doing about 300 miles an hour. They said between the speed of the straw and the wind, like separating the wood fibers, tornadoes, hurricanes, cyclones, no thank you. I always used to joke with my uncle and my aunt and uncle. They lived down in Clearwater, Florida. And they were like, oh, we're not even near the hurricane zone. I said, well, if I wake up one morning and your trailer's in my front yard, I think you were in the hurricane zone. I always used to joke. He had this big double wide, fancy cathedral ceiling, the whole 9 yards. I said, just remember, a tornado or a hurricane is like a divorce. Somebody's losing a trailer either way. He didn't think that was funny. If the lot rent would not have been so goddamn expensive, I considered buying that trailer. But the lot rent was like $800 a month to rent a square piece of property. And that didn't include water. You had to pay extra for what? Well, water, utilities. $800 a month? Luckily, My uncle had some bucks when he retired. I was like, talk about robbery. I'm missing a point here somewhere. Are we talking a tornado chaser out of Toledo? It's a problem when I go wacky with my subjects. I like the regional manager says to me today, he says, do you think we've satisfied your complaint? I said, well, I haven't got up there to see what you're giving me for free yet. Maybe not. I heard him on the phone go, oh, no. See, the supplier is giving me the product. It's not coming from the store. It's coming from the supplier. I want to see if the store is going to match as far as like value. The supplier's giving me this, and you're only giving me this? I don't think so. You got to sweeten the pot there a little more. Yeah, I have to go up and see the manager after 12. Between 12 and 4. And then the regional manager says to me, the store manager's name is Tim. I said, oh, he'll know me as soon as I walk in. We're on a first name basis. You didn't have to give me his name. I know who he is. He knows who I am. I said, as soon as you said who was bitching about the product, the manager probably was like, I quit. I'm out of here. That's it. I'm done. I can't handle him anymore. Transfer me to a different store. But I have found if you don't speak up, nothing's going to get done. Like with this deal with the new supplier. It's gone. I didn't realize it. 8 weeks. Now, did my bitching speed anything up? I don't know. Maybe they finally sealed the deal. But when he told me 8 weeks, I didn't realize that. But see, the product was slowly diminishing. It's not like I walked in the store on a Monday and on Wednesday everything was gone. It just started in certain areas. And then when it got to the point, like, there were no hot dogs whatsoever. Not even the cheap crap that they, those Bar S. Have you ever seen Bar S hot dogs or Bar S bacon? It's a shitty generic up here. And like Bar S hot dogs, they're like 89 cents a pack, where Sugardale is $3.29. So that tells you the quality of Bar S. There weren't even any of them. I told the what the hell's his name? Kevin. I said to him, I said, when I went back in the store by the the hot dog cooler, it was full of bagels. I said, you guys have a way of trying to hide a problem. You're out of hot dogs and sausage, there was no Hillshire, nothing. So rather than have an empty cooler, let's fill it with bagels. So we don't have an empty cooler. And we'll fool the customers. Like I'm going to walk back there and go, they put bagels where the hot dogs should be. They must not have any. But the average customer walking in will go, oh, you know what? I haven't had bagels in quite a while. Oh, okay. Oh, they got onion, plain, everything bagel. I didn't know they had these. And then, like the Italian sausage, chorizo, fancy, gourmet, vegan bullshit sausage, it was full of strawberries and blueberries. You ain't fooling me. You don't have the product. But they don't want empty shelves. Makes them look bad. Like I told Kevin, I said the word was circulating that the store was closing. And all the seniors that shop here on a regular basis were getting worried about where they were going to go. He said, oh, no, we're not closing. I said, then be honest with people. The reason we don't have product is our supplier went bankrupt. We're working on getting it done. No. Instead of putting up a sign explaining, we'll just put bagels here. Oh, okay. And we'll put fruit in the front cooler. Nobody will notice. I noticed. Because where Italian sausage was blueberries. Something ain't right here. Blueberries. There was no brands of hot dogs. No Sugardale, no Oscar Mayer, no Ballpark, nothing. The shelves were just empty. And see, the damn supplier kept it a goddamn secret. They didn't know this company was going bankrupt until the week they shut the doors. You would think if you've got a corporation that makes $690 million a year or more, you would tell them, hey, we're going to be closing our doors next week. Find a supplier. No. They shut the door. And then they said, sorry, we're bankrupt. You need to find a supplier. Companies just don't go bankrupt overnight. They were, believe me, they knew the end was near. You think they would have the courtesy of telling customers that, hey, we're going to be shutting the doors here. You got to find somebody else. Okay. Devil's advocate. Word gets out. Drivers don't come to work. They're like, hey, screw it. They're going bankrupt. I'm going to be out of a job. See ya. You can't win either way. Didn't I like this? Have you tried the ballpark Angus beef hot dogs? That's the new thing. Angus beef. Oh, what do they massage the cows every night? You have like a regular pack of hot dogs, ballpark, $3.29. Angus beef, $5.29. What do you take the cow and put it in your living room at night and give it a pillow, a blanket? To me, Angus beef don't taste any different than regular beef. And I've got a friend that buys nothing but organic stuff. And I says to her, what's the deal with organic? Well, they don't add chemicals to, weed killer or fertilizer. It's all natural. It's a bunch of bullshit. In order to get your crop certified as organic, you only have to stop using chemicals on your land for 3 years. Some of these chemicals last 10. But if you certify 3 years chemical free, you get an organic stamp. You get to charge more for your product because it's organic. Biggest joke I ever heard. It's organic. Now, all well and good, maybe there is some truly unmolested land. But if a farmer stops using all chemicals for 3 years, the federal government certifies it organic land. Biggest goddamn joke on earth. And the bullshit, this free range chickens. I don't care if my chicken is free range or locked up. Chicken is chicken. Matter of fact, some free range goddamn chicken is so tough because the chicken's running all over the place. Although I have noticed the price of eggs is starting to come down. Last week, small eggs were $5.49 a dozen. This week, $4.49 a dozen. So they're coming down. You know, you would think in this day of modern medicine, they would have come up with some sort of way of inoculating chickens so they wouldn't get the bird flu. Because as soon as it's detected, if you've got 10,000 chickens, the next day they're gone. And you've got a bulldozer digging a pit in the back of your property. You know, they've known about this bird flu for years. You would think they would come up with some way of like putting something in their drinking water or putting something in their food to inoculate them. No. Because Big Pharma doesn't see any money in it. Like my medication. I got the bill. I looked at my bank account. Like I told you, my card is on file, and they've got an authorization signed by me, charge my account. Well, this month, for some reason, they couldn't get the generic patches. So I got the branded for $105 more. I looked at my bank account, I went, holy yutchapuck. That was on top of what I normally pay. So instead of paying $150, it was $255 for one medication. Needless to say, I called the pharmacist and I said, hey, every month on the 3rd, you are supposed to automatically reorder, not wait until the end of the month and place your order and hope it's in the warehouse. As I'm tired of this bullshit. Not to mention, believe it or not, the branded ones don't work for shit. It's the first time I've ever had a generic drug that works better than the branded drug. So now I got to suffer all month with goddamn pain patches that might give me 30 hours instead of 48. And then they want to cut my medication. Thank God I've got a doctor behind me that's fighting. What a bunch of crap. It don't pay to get old. Although I'll tell you what, I've been watching a lot of documentaries on the British medical system. And they have made advances hand over fist in their medical care. And we're like in the dark ages here. It's unbelievable, their pain management clinics versus ours. I don't know why we can't take lessons from them. They're they're our allies. And they don't believe in made in China medications either. I have new Keurig cups. Kahlua. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And a good, if you like dark roast coffee, Caribou Obsidian Blend. Real good dark roast. I like my Keurig machine. That my neighbor didn't want. Marianne's a trip. She really is. Bought the machine, made 1 cup of coffee, put it back in the box and brought it over and handed it to me. Here. I don't like it. It's defective. I said, oh, defective, thank you. It's not defective. It has 2 pumps inside of it. One pumps the water from the holding tank into the heating tank. Then when it reaches temperature, a second pump pumps it from the heating tank through the cup into your mug. She thought the machine was defective. Thank you, Marianne. I love it. When I told her there was nothing wrong with it, I thought she was going to say, well, then give it back to me. Because I even asked her, so you want it back? No, it's yours. Thank you. And thank you for the RAV4 again. She says to me yesterday, oh, it looks so sad sitting there in the driveway. I said, it probably is because it hasn't been run in 6 months. Goddamn weather. That's the first thing on my outdoor project list as soon as the weather warms up. Get the RAV4 back on the road. I miss that thing. And then, Grumpy's luck, I'm coming back from the store today. Not that store, another store. I get about halfway home, and I'm going through the gears, and all of a sudden I hear blew a big hole right through the side of the muffler. And then the more I drove it, I said, gee, I like that sound. I don't think I'm going to replace the muffler. Who needs a muffler? Shit, the 3 assholes that live up the street, their motorcycles are like 5 times louder than that. And I just love when they must get off at 11. Because about 11:30 you hear all 3 of them coming home. So my noisy Nissan isn't even near that loud, but it sounds good. Sounds mellow now. I think I'm just going to put a straight pipe on it. Cut the muffler off, put a straight pipe on it. I did that with the RAV. Well, I found a cherry bomb muffler. They were big back in the 70s. It's 8 inches long. It's about that big around. It don't even look like a muffler. I put it on the RAV. If I get stopped, I'll say, hey, there's a muffler there. It says right on it, cherry bomb. I didn't know they made them so tiny. I think I'm going to have to email my buddy. Because we haven't seen Nomad in like a week. And usually I send him at least an email a day. I kind of left him alone. But now I'm going to say, hey, did you give up on me? You ain't been around, buddy. I'd hate to think he was like, oh, I've had enough of him. Maybe he was subscriber number 86. Unsubscribe. Click. Done. No grumpy. Maybe he figured all that promotion work and we only gained like 12 subscribers, so he gave up. He went on to somebody else now. Although we still have Wyatt. He pops in, says hi. And we haven't seen Jenny in a couple of days. I'm starting to worry. I wonder where she disappeared to. Oh, here she is. Look at this. Nomad hasn't been in Discord either. Oh, that don't sound good. I still haven't got on Discord, but that's not good because he was on Discord almost daily. How long's he been missing in action out of Discord? I wonder if he's feeling all right. Or maybe he had a business trip. Because I know he's into music business. Speaking of music, we haven't seen now I can't remember who he was. I want to say Blackheart Night or something. That's not it. What was the? Who was the other guy that used to come in? We had Nomad, we had Wyatt, and what was that music guy? There was a music guy we used to have. Something Records. What the hell was oh, God, I got cigarette ashes on my new chair. God damn it. Neckbeard, that's it. Yeah. We haven't seen Nomad. We haven't seen Neckbeard. Wonder where they went. They gave up on me. Yeah, that's odd not seeing. Come to think of it, I've been in the chat with Stone Vet 3 different times. And usually Nomad's in there at least one time. So I haven't seen him. Yeah. He's like dropped off the face of the earth. Yeah, because he told me, he said, don't email me. Get on Discord because I'm on Discord all the time. Well, I got it set up. I just haven't gone in. Wow. I wonder what's going on. Do either of you know Beaver Zero or Johnny O? I know Beaver Zero jumps in a lot of time on Shiz's stuff. And Johnny O, too. Well, last night, Beaver Zero and Johnny O had a stream together. And I found out poor Johnny O's getting divorced. I was like, wow. Because the last time the wife was on stream with him, it was all lovey-dovey. So in the last 4 months, what the hell happened over at his house? Although Johnny O hasn't been streaming too much because he runs a movie company in Texas. And I know he was working on a lot of short films. Evidently, the movie business must have got a little too much for the wife to take. It really shocked me last night. Because him and Beaver Zero, they were talking about divorce. And I'm like, what an odd topic. And then Johnny mentioned him and his wife split. And I was like, whoa. No wonder behind him it looked really disorganized. He must have been in a compartment. The counter behind him it must have been an efficiency because he was sitting in the living room and you could see the kitchen right behind him. And there were small appliances everywhere. And I was like, gee, that don't look like Johnny's house. Johnny had like a gazillion-dollar studio in his living room. Christ, he had a setup I wish I could have had. Holy shit. He had 3, God, they had to be 43-inch monitors side by side. And then it had to be at least a $5,000 stereo system. I was like, wow. Of course, he used it for his, movie production work. Last night he was working off a laptop. I was like, oh, property settlement was kind of nasty, wasn't it, Johnny? Sad. I feel sorry for him. I don't wish that on anybody, especially after going through it 4 times. God, you think I'd have been smart enough to give up after the first one? No. Grumpy's got to do it 2, 3, 4 times. No 5, though. After the 4th divorce, I wouldn't even look at a female. For fear she'd walk up and go, "You want to get married?" "Yeah, I'm not doing anything this afternoon. No problem." "I'll marry us. I'm a licensed minister." Well, there's a shocker for you. Yeah, I got the priest shirt with the collar. Reverend Grumpy. Weddings, cheap. Yeah, I'm certified to do weddings in Ohio. I did one. That was enough. "Susan, do you take Shirley to be your life mate?" "Shirley, do you take Susan to be your life mate?" "I now pronounce you husband and husband, or wife and wife, or whatever. Sign here. Here's your marriage license. Have a nice day. By the way, it's not legal in Ohio." They couldn't get anybody. I happen to know one of the wives or husband, which I didn't ask. She said, "Aren't you a ordained minister?" "Yeah." "Can you do weddings?" "Yeah." "Have you done any?" "No." "You want to do one?" "Well, maybe. Who's getting married?" "Me and my life mate." I have to look that up and see if it's in my manual. Oh, you'll write your own vows? Thank you. Keep them short. Everything went fine until I said, "You can kiss your bribe." "You want to stay for the reception?" "No. I got things to do. Have a nice day." The only wedding I ever performed, and I couldn't file it with the state of Ohio. I would have liked to have had one on the books legally. Nope. But I work cheap. I played it up. Oh, yeah, I come in, I had my fancy shirt with my collar, put on my whatever the hell that scarf is that you. I was going to wear I had a cassock, like priests wear. I was like, nah, it's kind of overdoing it. I'll just wear the shirt and a suit jacket and blue jeans. I looked real good from the waist up. Don't look below. See blue jeans and athletic shoes. I could see all the guests going, where the hell did they find him? I just said I work cheap. And it was last minute. Because they couldn't find anybody else. They are still happily married. I hear from them. They drop me an email every now and then. Especially in spring when she plants her garden. You know, look what I'm growing this year. Oh, well. Yeah, it's one of those online ministries. You send them a few bucks, you're a minister. Send them a few more bucks, you can perform weddings. Send them a few more bucks, ooh, you can become an archbishop. That was a little too expensive. But it's legal. It's recognized. I couldn't believe it. I checked with the state of Ohio. This online ministry is actually legally registered in Ohio. Oh, for a minute there, I thought my clock wasn't working. I was going to say, whoa. I changed the lighting. I added a little more blue over here and added some red over there. Looks like this side of the studio is on fire. We got fire and ice. And I think it looks cool. I like the division. You got the red over here blending into the blue. You got the blue over here blending into the red. I found the filters for my lights. Not to mention, you ought to see, I found my studio lamp. Oh, I'll have to show it tomorrow. It's like what they use on like 60 Minutes or 2020. You know, you see the light in the background. Well, mine doesn't have that. It looks like a pillowcase. They call it a light softener. But I've got one of them studio lamps. It's so goddamn bright, Jesus. Even on low, it's bright. I need to get a diffuser. That's what they call it, a diffuser. That still isn't going to dim it down. And it's got the barn doors like studio lights actually have. I got it at a lighting equipment auction. There was a production company that went out of business, and it was bid online. So I bid on it. Nobody bid against me. It's, yeah. Oh, is it bright? Holy shit. I don't know where I'd use it. It would have to be something like if I had a studio in a living room and then put it in a corner. Oh, you ought to see some of the shit that I've got. Oh, man. All kinds of arms to hang lights on. Like in the TV studios, they have that framework in the ceiling and they hang a light here and a light there. I don't know why I got all that shit. I get like my buddy with microphones, you know. I was like, oh, look at those lights. Oh, I'm going to bid on them. Then I get that, oh, I shouldn't have bid on them. And then the next morning, you won, highest bidder. UPS man said, got some boxes for you. Thank you. But that big light, it's on a tripod, and it looked impressive in the pictures. So I get it all put together, and I put the batteries in it, because it runs either on batteries or power pack. Turned it on, it was like, whoa, who turned the sun on? And I'm cranking it down, and it ain't getting no lower. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. Maybe I'll stand it in a corner. It'll look impressive. I won't turn it on, though. More shit. I can see the day I go, my son will be ordering a dumpster. I don't know why Dad had all this crap. Because he won't use it. He looks in and he'll see that I change a background. He's like, what do you care? What do you got so many of these for? Wait until hopefully next week. I've got 5 new ones coming. Temu had them on sale. Clearance. Like, oh. Wait till you see them. Oh, they're cool. I got 5 new ones coming to go along with the 20 I already have. I counted them the other day. I got 20 of these backgrounds. And I've got, you know, like in a photo studio, it just hangs in the background, and then the model stands in front of it. I got 2 tripods that raise up about 6 foot off the ground, 7 foot, and it's nothing more than a pole that goes across. And then all these backgrounds clamp on to this pole. One of these days, I'm going to take them all and hang them up. And that way, instead of the bullshit I got to go through to change a background, I can just flip it over. Have 20 of them mounted on this stanchion setup and just flip them over. Because up here along the top are about 10 clamps. And they clamp to a rod that goes across up here. And it's a pain in the ass to change them because I got to make sure the sign level and this light gets level and this light gets... Oh, I forgot to turn one on. I just noticed. Nobody told me. We're on air now. Come on, got to do the on air. Okay, we're on air now. On air. Official. You know, I've been looking up at that thing going, something ain't right up there. And it just hits me now. You forgot to turn the sign on, asshole. And nobody bothered to say, hey, Grumpy, the on-air sign ain't on. The goofy flashing light is on, but the on-air... And, you know, this is so damn bright. This is actually a microphone. It's a little desk mic. but you can't see it, and I can't dim it down anymore. Although in my painting, my buddy got, I don't know how he figured out what was there. There, if you look at my painting, there's a microphone there. I got the frame. I have some adjusting to do. I can't get the back on. And the back has the bracket so you can hang it up. I get it clipped in at one point, and then it won't clip in down to the bottom. Or it won't clip in on the sides. Never a dull moment. Oh, gee, hang on, my son wants me. He knows I'm on the air. It blinked. I hope it didn't blink my camera. Wave. He wants to air fry something. He couldn't use it when he can show me. I told you I bought this 3-way microwave. It's a microwave, it's an air fryer, and a convection cooker. I don't know how to use the air fryer part, and I don't know how to use the convection part. He'll have it figured out in like 30 seconds. Me, I'm reading the book going, what? I buy this microwave so I can air fry. Now, we've got an air fryer, but this was a 3-in-1, and I needed a new microwave. I don't know how to use the rest of this shit. How to do the convection? Nope. And it came with special trays. Like you take there's one that's got like a screen. It's got legs on it, and it sits on the spinny thing. And then there's one that's got like real little tiny holes that sits on the spinny thing. Now the screen thing is for the air fry, and the thing with the little holes is for the convection. I have no idea how to use it. I mean, it was a nice idea, and it was on sale, and free delivery. All I can use is the microwave part. Then everybody wonders why I can't figure out a new streaming program. I can't figure out how to air fry in my microwave, let alone do a streaming program. What, you didn't notice I left? Hey, look, there's headphones sitting on the microphone. Where's Grumpy? He must have slipped out of his chair. You know, before airtime, I always check to make sure everything's right. You know, like the lighting tonight, I made sure. I don't know why I forgot to turn that one on. One too many switches. This light's got switches, and then the two over here have switches, and then there's there's a remote for this one, and then the on-air sign's got a switch over there. Now the goofy light under the on-air sign, it has a remote. See, I can off, on, off, on. These dipsy Doolittle frickin' remotes. I bought a sound bar for my TV. It came with a remote like this. I said, for the price of the sound bar, you couldn't afford a better remote? Yeah, it came with a remote, like a dipsy do shit like this. Luckily, I can control it with the remote for the TV. So I don't need to get aggravated with this dipsy Doolittle thing. Although that's as bad as the remote that came with my Samsung TV. Stupidest thing, you know, for the sound. Every remote, and we'll just use this, you push one side for up or one side for down for the volume. You want to increase the volume, you push it. You want it to go down? No. That remote sound, you push up on the bar or down on the bar. If you push here, it mutes it. If you push the other side, it unmutes it. Who designed that stupid ass? We had to Google how to operate the fucking remote for the TV because I couldn't get sound. And I'm hitting the thing, mute, unmute, mute, unmute. No, you push up on the bar or down on the bar. And they didn't explain it in the goddamn manual. I was like, the goddamn remote's broke. Mute, unmute, mute, unmute. How do I get sound? Then finally, we Googled it. Push. And it was a video, thank God. The guy's holding the remote and he goes, push up here for sound, or push down to lower the volume. Up, down. We didn't never figured the goddamn thing out. And who writes these manuals for these products? They're so goddamn stupid. I can't remember, I bought something. And it said, in order to turn the device off, you have to turn it on. What? Yeah, that kind of makes sense. In order to shut it off, you got to turn it on. I didn't need a manual to tell me that, but it said right in the manual, in order to turn device off, you must have device on. It's almost as bad as when they'll convert from Chinese into English. Oh, some of the stupid shit in manuals. One of these days, I'm going to pull out a bunch of my manuals and I'm going to write down the stupid bullshit that's in them. Like, in order to turn off, you must turn on. Oh yeah. Yeah. They for some reason this is the size of the goddamn remotes you get with most of your shit. Like I bought a light kit to go around my Samsung. I like it for a nightlight, you know. And the remote looks like this. To control, you know, it's got all kinds of neat. It's neat when I have it's got a chaser feature, like an old movie theater marquee. You know, the lights go around the TV, or you can have them flashing, or just one color. But it's got a remote like this, yeah. Dinky, dipsy doolittle piece of crap. All my TV sets, I drive my son crazy. He's like, do you need to put that shit on a brand new TV? Well, yeah. It looks cool. If I want mood light at night, you know, blue, green, red, yellow, orange, or I can have it flash different speeds. It'll flash slow or really fast, or it'll chase, and then I can reverse it. It's tape. You know, they're thin, a little, you just tape it. It's got, you peel the backing off and you stick it around the edge of the TV. I've got it around the outer edge. Now you can do it across the front. You know, I like it around the outer edge. I start it right at the bottom and go up, around, and then cut it here, stick it together. Voila! Mood light. And it plugs in, it runs off a USB. You plug it into the USB on the back of the TV. I like it. Although I'm strange. But it's cool. It just right around the outer edge of the TV. Now, the only problem is once you stick it on, it's there for good. My Magnabox, my 43-inch, you ought to see the control. The goddamn controller for that light kit is like this big, and it's got like 9,000 buttons on it. You can, any color of the rainbow. And they don't make that one anymore because I wanted to put that one on the Samsung. But every one of my TVs has a mood light around it. And Temu, the prices are ridiculous. They're like, to get one that's like, matter of fact, I just ordered one. It's 10, I think it's 10 foot of the tape with the controller and the USB unit. It was like $3.20. I couldn't beat the price. And that way I have a spare. Or if I want to put 2 sets of lights on my Samsung, oh, that's going a little far. Now, a neat thing, and I never even thought of it. My buddy bought, oh Christ, I can't remember how many feet that goddamn in his rec room, right up at the corner, where the wall meets the ceiling. He went all the way around the room with this light kit. And they throw a lot of parties. And it's neat mood lighting. You know, he can turn it on and just have blue or red or green or red, green, blue flashing or chasing. But it's right up along the top of the wall where it meets the ceiling. He went all the way around the room. And it has a little transformer, and it plugs in USB. I never even thought of going around a room with it because they always show it on the TV. He found a kit where he went all the way around the room. I was like, why didn't I think of that? Mr. Gold Crazy with lights. Maybe I'll do that in my next studio. I got an idea for a new studio. I got an idea. I'd have to strip this room out, get everything out. The only problem is it would only be one studio, not like 2. I've got 2 now. I divided the room in half. And basically, like the back wall, I would take probably my 35-inch LG and make it look like a fireplace. I have a looping video that looks like a fireplace. And you plug it into the USB on the back of the TV. I put it on a thumb drive. And the flames, every, I think every 30 seconds, it's got flames. And then you can kind of see the flame change when it goes back. And then the flames are going, and then, yeah, I put it on a thumb drive. I found a looping video. The website is Vedezzy, Vedezzy, Vedezzy. It's got a shitload of free looping videos. Matter of fact, I downloaded a bunch of them. You can have one in space or the fireplace. Oh, it's got everything. Vedezzy. I came across it by accident. I gargled free looping videos. And I see this Vedezzy.com. So I clicked on it. Whoa! Now, they have ones that you can buy, but I'm cheap. They must have 2,000 freebies. So I got this neat fireplace one, and I put it on a thumb drive, and it's an idea. Kind of make a studio, like, remember the fireside chats? Well, the backdrop would be like that, a fireplace, and do my lights around the ceiling. Just an idea. Well, yeah, I could have bought that one. It's on the one thing, it was an add-on box. But you can actually buy the kit that, but like the one, you buy an add-on box and it reacts to sound. I don't need, just long as the lights flash, that's good enough for me. But I thought I was a light freak until my buddy went, "You ought to see my rec room." I was like, "Yeah, what about it?" He goes, "Come on down." So we walk in, and he shuts off the lights. And I'm like, "Hey." Then he hit his remote. I was like, "Whoa. Cool." He goes, "Wait a minute." And he went through red, green, blue, orange, purple. And then they started to flash, and then they were chasing. And I was like, I didn't know you had it in you to do something like that. And he said, "Well, I got the idea from my grandson." Because his grandson wanted to do his bedroom like that. And his parents were like, "No." So he was like, "Hey, Grandpa, look. We could do this in the rec room." And my buddy was like, "Yeah." So he ordered a kit that would go around the room and made his grandson happy at the same time. Because his grandson comes over with his laptop and goes right down in the basement and plays with the lights and video chats with his friends. And they're dirt cheap to operate. I think you can run them for a whole month for a nickel or something. Where did you get your rock lights from? Because I know Temu has some, but they really don't look very well made. Anything that's going to go up in a wheel well that's going to get beat with dirt and water and snow, I want something that it's got a little meat to it. Like the two light bars I'm building for the RAV that are going to go underneath the rockers. I got to start wiring them. God, a goddamn wire is like the thickness of 4 hairs. I had to buy a goddamn special soldering gun just to solder all the connections. Because my regular soldering gun melted it. I went to solder a connection and the wire melted. I was like, uh-oh. Put soldering gun away, order new one. Why is my phone dinging? Why is my phone dinging? Ain't got no messages. I don't know why it was dinging. The only time it dings is if I get a text message. I didn't get no. It was ding, ding. Did the chat freeze? I haven't seen it move. I was waiting to see where you got your rock lights from. If they weren't too expensive, I'd get some for the shitbox. That'd be a joke. Goddamn truck ain't got enough metal to stick shit on anymore. Matter of fact, today at the store, I slammed the door, and the guy next to me went, "Hey, part of your fender just fell off." I was, well, yeah, it's marking its territory. I get home, and a big chunk of the fender's gone. Finally rotted through. Poor truck. Got so much goddamn rot on it. Yeah, I never bought anything from Rock Auto. I see the commercials. RockAuto.com. I'll have to .com them. Take a look tomorrow. Usually when I see a commercial about auto parts and stuff, I check it out. I've never checked Rock Auto out. As many times as I've seen the damn commercials. Although, a lot of people don't really notice. If you gargle something, like a product, okay? Say you gargle rock lights. If you're streaming TV, you will start seeing commercials for the item you gargled. I didn't know that. Because what did I Google? Tire rack. I wanted to check out their tires. Since I Googled tire rack, I'm getting tire rack commercials. I never had them before. So if you got streaming TV and you Google something, if it has a commercial, you'll see it. I never had a tire rack commercial. No matter what I was watching, whether it be YouTube or I go on TV Land or History Channel. But since I Googled tire rack, I'm getting tire rack commercials. And I mentioned it to a friend of mine, and she was like, yeah, if they have a commercial, you will get it like a reminder. So I deliberately, some medication, Claritin. I Googled Claritin. Now I'm getting tire rack and Claritin commercials. It's something, some deal that Google has worked out with the streaming television services. But yeah, if you Google something and it has a commercial, you'll start getting them commercials. Irritating as hell. Good thing I didn't Google something pornographic. And you'll get them on your phone too. You'll start seeing ads on your phone. It's irritating as hell. It really is. Yeah, I noticed that. And, you know, I went in to everything, all the instructions and all this shit on Prism. Evidently, it has something to do with a setting in YouTube. Because Prism has nothing regarding the speed of the chat. All you do is adjust the font or the outline. So it's got to be something to do with YouTube. Why it locks up every now and then, I don't know. But it irritates me because it just like freezes. And I'm thinking to myself, did everybody leave? Speaking of leaving, I think it's time to play an outro. If the damn tablet will cooperate. I'm going to make some Italian sausage again tonight since I have some left. Throw it in my spaghetti sauce with my multicolored rotini noodles. Green, orange, white. Really, when you come down to it, it really don't look appetizing. You look at them colored noodles in a bowl, and then you put spaghetti sauce on it. But I'm not a big fan of just regular spaghetti. I'll get these rotini noodles for a while, and whatever they have on sale. A little while back, they had choo-choo wheels on sale. Boy, that's an oddball when you're eating spaghetti. Spaghetti over choo-choo wheels. But they were buy one, get two free. So I bought them. Here's Grumpy, 73 years old, eating choo-choo wheels. I'm cheap. No! No! We almost ended up with polka music. Although, a little Frankie Yankovic never hurt now and then. Yeah, Kathy, yeah. That's what.
But out of that.
Damn it. Tablet. I gotta get this switched over to the other one. This poor thing keeps telling me it wants to die. 15 years old, I can't complain really. I got my, well, it was free. Got my freebies worth out of it. And with that, we will meet again tomorrow night, right here, WDWL TV. 7 p.m. And have a good rest of your evening. Be safe.